Today, I'm going to share the 5 things you need if you want to start making beats in the best possible way. Right now, you might feel overwhelmed or confused. People are telling you that you need to buy expensive speakers to make beats, or you need to buy a specific beat making program. I'm going to make starting as simple and easy as possible. My name is Navie. I've been producing for around 15 years, and in that time I've worked with artists and made music for a video game. I've gotten millions of streams on my own music on Spotify, and today I'm going to help you start making beats. Let's first start with which program you need to make beats. The 3 common programs that people use are Ableton, FL Studio, and Logic. These are paid programs, but they do have demos that you can try. There are also free beat-making programs like MPC Beats and Serato Studio. So which one is best? Which should you use? Here's what I recommend. Take 1 week out of your schedule, download the free versions for all 5 of these, and try each of them for a day. One of them will feel like it makes the most sense to you and you'll enjoy using the most. Choose that one. It's as simple as that. People will tell you that this program has better audio quality or that program is what babies use when they make beats. This is just all nonsense. It's like asking which brush Picasso used to paint and thinking that you'll become an amazing painter if you use the same one. What matters most is you and your ideas. So choose one beatmaking program, stick with it, and just start. So with that said, let's make a beat. I'm going to use FL Studio in this example, but every beatmaking tip and technique I'm about to show you applies no matter what you end up using. Let's first set a tempo for our beat, which is how fast our beat will be. Your beatmaking program will have a metronome feature to help you decide this. Just turn it on and hit play. Let's make a beat with a slower tempo, so I'll set this to 70. Now that we have our tempo set, let's add in our next sound. And this actually leads me to point number 2. In every beat-making program, there are apps called plugins that you'll use to create sounds in your beat. But you can also buy or download other plugins from the internet. So you might be wondering, should you buy or download more plugins? Or are the plugins that come with your program good enough? Well, this is where I have a bit of a controversial opinion. Many people will tell you to just stick with the plugins that come with your program, which I get. But if you do this, you'll probably run into one big problem really fast. The majority of the sounds that you're going to find in these plugins probably sound like this. Most music production programs are built for EDM or electronic music or scoring film and TV, and so the plugins that they come with don't have as many sounds that are actually useful for beat making. So if you want sounds that are good for making beats, I have some recommendations for some free and cheap options. For cheap options, I always recommend Expand 2. You can get this thing for $10 often, it's on sale all the time, and it just has a lot of sounds that are great for making beats. But if you want some free options, check out Complete Start and Spitfire Labs. These are, in my opinion, the best plugins if you're just starting to make beats. And by the way, if you could do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. My channel is dedicated to making beat making tutorials, so if you ever want some more help, you do not want to miss out on all my regular uploads. So let's start our beat by using this flute sound here, which I believe comes from Complete Start. When it comes to making a pattern like this, you might have yet another question. Do you need hardware like a keyboard to make beats? Is buying a keyboard like this necessary? The answer is no. Plenty of successful producers just use their mouse to draw in their patterns, so if you want to hold off on buying a keyboard, that's perfectly fine. It's just all about preference. Now here's an important bonus tip that you're going to need to know. Adding effects onto your sounds will help them sound much better. Effects are also tools that will come with your beatmaking program that you can add onto your sound to change how they sound. So here I added a delay, a very common effect, and it creates this cool sounding echo that makes the sound feel bigger. Just really helpful here. Let's add some more into this beat. Next, I'm going to open up Expand, which I talked about before. I've really been enjoying using the strings in this plugin. They sound pretty real. Instead of using a keyboard this time, I'm just going to use my mouse to draw in my pattern. Alright, so far we have a couple of nice sounding musical patterns. Next up, this beat needs a drum pattern. If you want drums that are good for beat making, many people will go onto Reddit to find drum packs. Having said that, it's kind of a gray area whether these sounds are legal, so I'm kind of hesitant about recommending them. Don't want you to get in trouble or anything. I do have my own free drum kit that you can download and try, also in the description box below. They are royalty free, so you never have to worry about any legal junk. So let's just use sounds from that. The typical drum sounds that you're gonna need for your beat are a hi-hat, a kick, and a snare or a clap. These are the core drums that will show up in almost every beat. So let's create a pattern using these sounds. I'll start by making this very simple hi-hat pattern. This beat kind of feels trappy, so let's do some trap techniques with this hi-hat and add in some stutters. We'll use multiple pitches for some of our hi-hats as well. Let's do another trap technique and bring in another hi-hat from the same pack and create a different pattern here. Very trappy. Next, let's create a clap pattern. And if you're just starting out, here is the advice that I give to everyone. Put a clap on every second and fourth beat. And when I say beat, if we turn on the metronome, you can see this visually. So let's put a clap on the second and fourth beat. Great, so if you ever get lost when you're trying to make a drum pattern or you made something that sounds weird and awful, I recommend starting here with your claps or your snares. Now let's create a simple kick pattern. And we have our drum pattern complete. All that's left at this point is our bass. Since we're making a trap beat, let's use an 808 bass. And this leads me to point number 4. Do you need expensive speakers to make beats? Again, my answer is going to be no, kind of. Big expensive speakers like these are not necessary to make beats. Back when I was working with artists and making a soundtrack for a video game, these were the speakers that I used. They were the junk speakers that came with my junk computer, and I was still able to make good enough beats to work with artists and stuff, so don't feel as though you need big expensive speakers to make beats. But I would recommend at least getting some decent headphones, which will cost you a fraction of what speakers do. The reason why is because if I were to play this 808, for example, if you're watching this on your laptop or you just have bad speakers like I used to have, you probably won't be able to hear the low end, the subby part of this 808. And this is why headphones can be a good idea. They can at least help you hear more. As for recommendations, I have these Audio-Technica headphones right here, but I know Sennheiser and Sony also have high quality headphones. So next, let's come up with a very simple 808 pattern here. Now we have a full complete loop. At this point, we can go ahead and turn this loop into a full beat by adding in more and creating all the different sections of what a beat needs. But this would require a whole in-depth tutorial to explain this part fully, which actually leads me to number 5. Do you need tutorials? I'm gonna be upfront, I'm obviously biased here. My whole YouTube channel is dedicated to making beatmaking tutorials. And I also have a full online beatmaking course, Better Beatmaker, which helps you make beats without needing any background in music. So if you don't know music theory or scales or chords, this is perfect for non-musicians who still just want to make beats. But do you need courses and tutorials to start? Again, you don't. I learned everything on my own, so I'd be lying if I said yes. You can definitely learn everything on your own. Your progress will be slower, like it was for me, but you can definitely make good beats without any help. It's just entirely up to you and what kind of learner you are, whether you like to watch videos to learn or if you like doing everything on your own. But if you are the type of person who finds tutorials helpful, here is a video of mine that I will recommend. Drum patterns are usually the hardest part of beatmaking if you're just starting out, and in this video I help you understand how to go from beginner to pro with your drum patterns. So go ahead and click this video to continue your journey and become a master beater. I said beater, you perv. What a filthy mind you have. Click the video.